for the data that we've worked out so far. I'm looking to do a graph of driving force versus average acceleration. I select the force data like that, and I come over to average acceleration, hold the command key down and click and drag. So now I've selected this data and this data over here, and now I go to I'm going to select it again because that my recording box was in the way. So select these four and then command, click and drag, and I go to charts, scatter and mark scatter. So I get my graph that looks like this. Shrink it down a bit. About there. Okay. So force on the bottom and average acceleration on the vertical axis, the y-axis over there. This legend's not much use to me this time. I like to get rid of those if I can, if it makes sense to do that. So that goes. What sort of a relationship have I got here? Is it something that's going to produce a straight line? Is it something that produces a curve? I'm going to select the data, go to chart layout, trend line, and put in a straight line. That's a line of best fit. The machine's done for me. I'd like to know, before that I go to options, and here's a good option. This really works well in this case, and that is to set the intercept to 0. It makes sense that at 0 force there'll be 0 acceleration, so this line should go through the origin. So I get rid of the line that it first did, I'll delete that, and now I'm left with a line which, if you extrapolate it, will go through the origin, which makes sense physically. Let's now select that line again and go to the options, ask the machine to give us the equation for that line, and just check the R-squared value. The R-squared value 0.985, which is very close to 1, so it's saying it's a very good match. I'm going to leave it like that, except that I might just get in here and edit this. In this case, the y-axis is acceleration and the x represents force. So I've got A equal to 0.298. That's too many numbers. So 2.98 F is the equation of the line of best fit. Now let's do some better communicating here and put in some axis titles. Horizontal axis, this is the amount of force. That's the independent variable in this case. The vertical axis, acceleration. That's the dependent variable. And chart axis, every graph should have a title. Acceleration versus force for air glider. there's a completed graph for the data that we collected.